Oregana Commission confronted with faces of people who died, and traffic expected to come to a standstill in the Joburg CBD. I'm Lebo Changela with this news update. The Oregana Commission of Inquiry has been confronted with the faces of people who died in that tragedy as commissioners entered the Vonokop area to continue their inspections. This is where 3 of the informal settlements are located that they will visit today. People from the local community held up placards with the names and photos of the deceased. Retired Judge Ian Afalem will lead an in-local inspection of the living conditions of the miners working at the Lonme Marikana mine. The public hearings will begin tomorrow at the Rustenburg Civic Centre. Traffic is expected to come to a standstill in the Johannesburg CBD later this morning as the truck drivers' strike intensifies. Thousands of striking truck drivers are to march from Beyers Nordia Square to Braamfontein, where they'll hand over a memorandum of demands and grievances to their employer. Abongile Dumago reports.
Thousands of truck drivers are expected to continue from where they left yesterday and march from central Johannesburg to the bargaining council in Braamfontein. They are demanding a 12% salary increase and the employer is offering 9%. Meanwhile, economists and the public will keep an anxious eye on the nationwide strike to see if it leads to further food, fuel and cash shortages. These were reported in some parts of the country yesterday. Satau says this strike entering into its second week will indeed be intensified today. Abongile Dumago, SABC News, Johannesburg.
In Mpumalanga, striking truck drivers will also march to the Road Freight Association in Emalahleni, the former Witbank. A large police contingent has been deployed to monitor the march. Motorists are expected to rush to filling stations later today as they face a double whammy, pumps running dry due to the truck drivers' strike and a substantial fuel price increase that takes effect at midnight. Unatubin also reports.
Talks between the union and the Road Freight Employers Association are expected to continue later this week, but it's today that motorists are most concerned about. If the pumps run dry, as is the case in some filling stations in Umtata and surrounding towns, motorists and paraffin users will feel the pinch of the strike in their wallets. They will find themselves having to pay over 20 cents more for a litre of petrol and an even steeper 40 cents more for diesel and paraffin. Filling station managers are hopeful of having fuel delivered sometime today. Meanwhile, social grant recipients also bore the brunt of the strike on the Wild Coast yesterday. ATMs were reportedly out of cash due to the truck drivers' strike as well. Unatipingosa, SABC News, Umtata.
And government's program to get learners out of mud schools will be highlighted when President Jacob Zuma unveils a new school in the Eastern Cape today. This is part of government's accelerated school infrastructure delivery initiative. The program is aimed at eradicating basic safety backlogs in schools without water, sanitation and electricity, as well as replacing those schools constructed from inappropriate material such as mud. Presidential correspondent Thabo Ikane reports.
During his State of the Nation address in February, President Zuma announced that his government will allocate funds to eradicate mud, inappropriate and unsafe school structures. In February last year, 7 schools in the Eastern Cape province took the Provincial Education Department to court to demand adequate resources. The move forced the Provincial Education Department to reach an 8 billion rand out-of-court settlement after communities accepted the department's pledge to construct new safe schools. President Zuma, accompanied by Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga, will hand over new schools in Libode near Umtata. Tshepo Ikaneng for SABC News, Umtata in the Eastern Cape province.